What's going on, guys? My name is Matt Pinella and I'm here with Norske Tools to show you how to frame a 16-inch on-center wall. Let's get started. Alright, so when we're framing, what we're going to want is 3 plates. You have a bottom plate, also known as a sill plate or a mud sill. You have a top plate, then you have a double top plate. We're going to go ahead and do layout right now. All 3 of these are cut at 6 foot. We're going to pull this top plate, set it aside for now, and lay out these 2 here. This is where people start to get confused. 16 inches on center. You're not going to mark 16. You're actually going to mark 15 1/4 and 16 3/4. What that does is when you get to 4 foot and you have a 4 foot sheet of OSB, 4 foot sheet of drywall, 8 foot sheet of drywall, it's going to land right there and split on a stud. So we're going to keep laying out. We have 16. Now remember, when you're framing, you always have a stud on your end. If you don't have a stud on the end, what you're going to have is called a California corner. I'll show you how to build one of those in just a sec. Now a little fun fact for you guys. Back in the day, framers did not lay out like we do today. They wouldn't mark both sides of your stud. They would mark center, and that was it. If you couldn't put a stud on center, you shouldn't be framing. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take one stud, put it on edge just like that. Take the other stud, lay it on top, flush up your ends, and then you want to make sure that's nice and flush there. We're going to go ahead and pin it all the way down. Alright, you guys, so now that we've got our bottom plate down there, top plate up here, we're going to go ahead and spread studs in between. So we're building an 8-foot wall. Our studs are pre-cut from the lumberyard at 92 1/4. When you add the 4 1/2 from the triple plates, that puts you at 96 3/4, leaving you a little bit of wiggle room when you go to do your drywall. Let's get to building this thing. Alright, we're going to go ahead and crown all of our studs. And what I mean by crown, you're looking for the bow in the board. Every board that you're going to use in construction is going to have a bow, or what we call a crown, to it. Crown always goes up. Now, a few things when you're framing your walls. You want to make sure that the top of your stud here is flush with bottom plate. If it's not, that's going to create a hump in your drywall. But you don't want your hands too close to that right there in the case that a nail pops through the top. Hold your hand back just a hair. Alright, congratulations. You nailed the bottom of your wall. Let's move to the top. You want to make sure you're flush to the side right there. Get these last ones nailed off. Bingo. Now we've got our double top plate. Always think about other trades while you're nailing off. For instance, if a plumber has to go through here with a pipe, the last thing he wants to hit is a nail going up. Bits cost a lot of money. So while you're nailing these off, a good habit to get in is nailing directly over the top of your studs where you already nailed. Once again, you want to make sure that this is flush with your other top plate as well. Congratulations, guys, you just put together your first wall. Now, an extra step you can take, some people do it, some people don't, is blocking in between your studs. Now this helps keep studs rigid. This helps when you're lifting walls to make sure that they're nice and sturdy. Now when you don't have blocks in the wall and you go to stand it, you'll notice it's really flimsy. Now I'm going to show you guys how to block out this wall. As I said though, this is an additional step. You don't have to do it, but I highly suggest doing it. Don't ever want your blocks to be too tight, because what'll happen is you'll notice a bulge on both sides of your wall. So we cut them a hair short. What we call a standard block is 14 3/8. So we're gonna go ahead and cut 1, 2, 3 at 14 3/8, and we'll cut our specials after that. But first, we're gonna go ahead and get our walls laid out for where our blocks go. Some people will run a continuous block line at 4 foot or 4'6". We run our blocks at 3'6", 4'6". Mark the same thing on this side. We'll go 3'6", 4'6", run a snap line. This is another step that a lot of people don't take. You'll see some guys and they just throw blocks in and go like crazy, but you want your blocks to be straight. Your work is your signature. We're gonna go ahead and cut a few blocks at 14 3/8. So we've got our block for there, there, and there. We're gonna go ahead and cut our special block for here and our last block there. Now here's an advanced tip for those of you that have been framing for a little while, or maybe you're comfortable with a saw. I don't suggest this to the people that are building the wall for the first time. So you set your blocking material in here, hold it a little bit off that stud, set your saw up just like this, and run it along that stud. They fit perfect every single time. Now we do have a 2x4 in here for our drywall backing with our Cali corner. You can go ahead and notch out that 1.5 by 3.5, or you can run your block sideways like that. Either or works just fine. For me personally though, I am gonna go ahead and notch it. So now we'll go ahead and get these blocks in. Same thing with blocks as top plate and studs. You want to make sure they're flush with all your material you're working with. Now I'm going to show you that trick that I showed you over there for nice, quick, easy cutting, except for without the demonstration. So I'm just going to go ahead and make our cut. You'll see how quick that method is. Instead of getting out a tape measure, all that other gunk, so I want to explain to you guys the reason behind the Cali corner. When the insulators come in to insulate, they can get insulation back into here. While if you were to do one stud here, one stud there with a little block in between here, that creates a dead space, and you don't want that with an energy efficient home. You will see guys use triple studs here as well. One, it wastes more material. Two, you are creating a dead space that isn't insulated. This is by far the best way to do it. The California corner is a perfect advanced framing technique for energy efficient homes. I highly suggest you use this method. Alright you guys, I wanted to congratulate you on building your first wall. A few things to point out. This is by far the best method of framing. With your staggered block line at 3'6" down, 4'6" and up, you were able to nail each one of those blocks in really, really easily. As opposed to if you had a block line ran at 4 foot all the way through, it would be a pain to nail. You end up toenailing them in, and it's never fun. Alright you guys, you have built your first wall. Congratulations. I want to give a huge shout out to Norske Tools for making this video possible. That's the saw blade I was using right there, the Reversa Cut, a saw blade that you can flip both directions and use. Incredible design. Check out their website right here for all of your saw blade needs. They also have a 13-inch industrial cutter that will blow your mind. Hardy lap siding, all that bad dust that you have to breathe in, no longer with this cutter. With the push of a handle, your cut looks like factory. Check out their website for all their products and more. That is all we have time for today though guys. My name is Matt Pinella with Matt Bangs Wood. Thank you for watching.